skeletons speak with such a screech. You'll shake and shudder in surprise when you hear these zombies shriek. Spooky, scary skeletons and shivers down your spine. Shrieking skulls will shock your soul and seal your doom tonight. Spooky, scary skeletons.
Hey guys, my Josh here, welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to be discussing how to do functions in GCSE. So for those of you who don't know what a function is a sort of map which takes an input number through a process to give an output. So for example, if you've done algebra in year 6, you've probably done an input-output machine. So example maybe, don't know, let's just do that. So you might have a question, so a bit like that. So you're given the output of 6, process times by 2, so you have to figure out what this number, what that would be, and that'd be 3. So it's a bit like that, but just slightly more complicated. For example, so we're going to do f of x is equal to 2x and 1. So, okay, so let's just say x is 3. So by f of 3 is equal to 2 times 3 add 1, which would give you 7. And another example would be f of 8. So it'd be the exact same, no, wrong way around. So it'd be the exact same thing, except with different numbers. Does that make sense? So that's just the very basic one, and then it gets a bit more complicated than that. So if it gives you f of x, actually I'd say the exact same. So if you done f of x squared though, it would literally be 2x squared add 1. So it would be, and it'd be the same for, f of x to the power of 4, it'd be 2x to the power of 4 and 1. So that's the basic part of it. Now that's just slightly more complicated than what you would have done in year 6 maths, I should imagine. I'm going to make it a bit more interesting now by putting in a g. So, well, it actually be the exact same thing here. Let's just do 3x and x squared. So with g, it'd be the exact same thing. If we're given a number, and let's say it's g of 2, it'd literally be 3 times by 2 and 4, because that's 2 squared. So it'd be like that. So it'd be the exact same as the f, but I'm going to try and incorporate it a bit. So all this really means is that you've got to do g of 3 first. So these two first, and you do whatever the answer of those two, but substitute that into there, if that makes sense. So for example, use the example I've done here. It'd be 3 times 3 and 3 squared. That makes sense. So that'd be 9, and then 9 of 9 is 18. So then you would do f of 18, and you just do 18 times by 2, and then you just add the 1, which would give you 37. So that's the very basics of functions. And the next step, which can really happen, and then also it's probably another different type of example you may come across. So it could be f to the power of 2, but then g 3, and I really wish I didn't do this big, but so all that really means is f of g of 4. Makes sense? So it'd be the exact same thing as up here. I'm not sure if I've overcomplicated this massively or not, but so basically first of all find out that, and then you use that answer into there, then that answer into there, that answer into there, and that answer into there. And I think I'm going to use a slightly actually, now I'm going to do this example actually. So these two first, so you've got to do g of 4 is equal to 12 add 16, which is 28. And then you've got to put 28 into the next g, so g of 28 is equal, I really wish I didn't make it this hard. 3 times by 28, that's 60, 24, that's 84. 84, 28 squared, I have no idea what that is. My mental maths isn't that fast. Okay, 3 times by 28. as 28 squared. That gives me 868. And now, so let's just cross them off as I go along. So now I've got to do g of 868, which sounds ridiculous because it is. You never actually get a question this hard in the exam. And then of course you've got to add the 868 squared. This is going to be a ridiculously stupid answer. Add 868 squared. It's 756,000. This is really annoying, so I'm trying not to rub out what I wrote over there. And now I've got to, what's that? 1, 2, 3. Now I've got to substitute that number into F and that other number into F. And I ran out of space for this. Okay. Let's double check. Okay. So then with what's happened with the F is, okay, I'm going to have to rub out, I'm just going to rub out this part. I'm going to rewrite the number up there. So I've got the number. I just need some space to actually work. Right, so then it would be F of 756,028, which would just be that number times by 2 and then add 1. I'm only saying that number because it's saving me so much more time than actually saying it out every time. And that would give me 1.5, no, actually I'd say 1.5 million. That's pretty much what it is. Then you just substitute that number back in over here. 1257. Now it's got times that by 2 and 1, which should give you 3,024,115. Now, let me just make it clear, you would never get an exam question that hard than the actual GCSE higher tier paper, or any paper for that matter. Probably won't. I doubt you get this hard, but if you do, well, I had to do it, I suppose. So that's it for this video, and in the description I'll put in some resources for practice questions. So if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you really liked it, please subscribe. And if it's helped you in any way, or you think it will help someone else, please share it with your family or friends. I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye!